This call is now being recorded.
Hey, Song Rae.
Hey now, how you doing? Something else?
Oh, fine. It has been a long day, so I'm just glad to decompress and just talk about dramas rather than everything else in the world. How has your weekend been?
My weekend has been well. Got my flu shot, and it kind of took me down for a day. I had the fever and the kind of tiredness out of whack, and my arm had a huge lump on it. But I'm feeling so much better today, so I'm grateful that those symptoms
You know what?
subsided.
I'm a horrible friend because you did text me that, and it was like, oh, I have to ask her about that, and I completely forgot. So,
It is what it is.
How big did your arm swell up? Like, what was going on? But this is
You
like
know,
you before, too, right?
the injection site where you get the shot, so it swells up and it turns into a hard lump and it's hot to touch. But it's much better today because yesterday, like, it was uncomfortable to even lay on my right side.
Oh. Yeah, I want to say that every time you've gotten a flu shot that I can remember, you've had that issue.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, man. Yeah, I mean, I've heard that the flu shot, like, knocks people down. My mother, one of my coworkers, I was kind of out of sorts because I was getting other stuff done. And I was like, okay, let me throw in a flu shot. And when I got home, I was like, dead to the world.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm so glad that you're feeling better. And, you know, health isn't cheap or painless, unfortunately.
No, right?
Like, you're trying to be a good steward of your own body, and it's like, okay, let me knock you back for a second, you know, because you get penalized for doing the right thing. But
Right.
good for you. So I know that you found a nice little corner away from your right side and watched some K-dramas.
I did. K-dramas, C-dramas, yes, all in.
So we've been doing or we're trying to do the video that shows what our current list is, but that's current for that 2 seconds because we're always adding dramas and dropping dramas and stuff like that. So we thought we'd follow up with a phone call and just talk about what we're watching and why, and then just uncut, drop it for you guys to listen to. So, because you watch way more dramas than I do, I have 11. And I'm like, I know you must have like 30. So you start your list because I'm sure your list is longer.
Just slightly, not too much. Right now, I picked up Cheer Up, which I don't even know what made me click play, but I did because it really looked like, you know, I don't know if you all have ever seen the American TV movie where it was about cheering and then they had a follow up to it, and I was like, okay, this kind of seems like that's what it might be, and to a degree it is, but it has some other elements that I'm enjoying. So there's like a little mystery going on and a little thriller happening in there. So it's interesting to kind of watch. I'm on episode 4 because that's the most current. I finished up this yesterday. So kind of, you know, seeing where they're going. We've got a love triangle, of course, happening, and we'll see what goes on with that. And honestly, it's about to turn into a square from the last episode, episode 4. Looks like a square is beginning to form. But, you know, it's interesting.
Wait. What drama is this again?
Cheer Up.
Wait, spell that?
I am currently watching it on Viki.
Let me go to Viki. Viki, I miss you. No, I'm not missing. I watch it. I look at it every day. I'm talking up the side of my neck. Oh, there's something called a cute bodyguard too, but you know she don't look like she wants to fight or she can fight. Wait. And you said Cheer Up? Oh, Cheer Up.
Cheer.
Oh,
Cheer.
Okay, because I couldn't hear it. I was like, what the heck is she talking about? Oh, yeah, that whole, you did kind of, I saw something that you posted where they look, do they look as wholesome or are they acting as wholesome as they look?
For the most part, yeah, it's not that. We're not going down those roads. We just have some mystery and some other things happening. So, like I said, it seemed like it was going to just be that whole concept of the cheer squad and how they overcame. But I think they realized let's not go down that exact road, and they've added in some things. So I give them credit for that.
Well,
I'm also watching, because Cheer Up, like I said, that's just, I push play, and since I push play, I kind of got caught, so we'll see how far I go with this, because lately I've been the drama drop queen. In the past, that was not my thing, but now I'm like, if it doesn't hold my attention, then yeah, it gets dropped real quick. Season of Blossom. I am loving that. Seasons of Blossom. I'm also watching that on Viki. That is starring my guy, Seo Ji-hoon. He is the lead, and then you have So Ju-yeon, who is the female lead. And it's a story about the present and the past. So you're hearing about her past when she was in high school. She's now a teacher, and she's teaching at the high school that she went to. And she had her first love and her only love. The man is gone. He has passed away, but she is still stuck. When I tell you stuck, ooh-wee, girl, she's still stuck. So you're learning about her past love life, and hopefully we get a resolution by the end, because she got a man pursuing her, but she is giving him no airtime, no play, no nothing. He getting the hard we friends fist.
Yeah, no. I would not be able to watch it. Once she said her first love was gone, and then she stayed stuck on, whatever, I'm like, man. But what? I've seen her in some other stuff. Where did I see her in? Because she seems to be playing a teenager. What else has she been in? Let's look her up.
She's been in Dr. Romantic 2, Birth Care Center, A Love So Beautiful, Love Struck in the City, I Hate Going to Work, Wow Guys, a drama called Not All Right, But It's All Right, My Healing Love, and then she's been in a few movies, just 3 movies.
Maybe it was A Love So Beautiful.
Yeah, I said the exact same thing, because that's why I know what the list is. I went to look like I've seen her before, but I couldn't really place where I had seen her. And when I looked at her drama list, I don't really know any of those. So I'm trying to figure out where do I maybe it was Dr. Romantic 2. I don't know if I watched that, though. I watched Birth Care Center, but she was only in 1 episode.
Well, I think for me it was A Love So Beautiful, because I remember her, looking at the synopsis, I remember her chasing after this dude, I really like you, here, have a card. She was, for real, on thirst trap, thirsty, not thirst trap. She was on a super thirst. She was parched for that dude. So I remember that.
Hilarious. And the other thing, because I don't know why, but I thought she was much older. She's only 28.
Oh, I thought she was not like she had to be much older than that. I didn't think she was 22. Let me put it that way.
But I didn't think she was in her 20s. I thought she was 30s.
Oh, okay. I thought she was definitely just not 19. You know what I'm saying? You can tell when kind of an adult is playing a teenager type versus the ones who are a little bit closer to teenager. So, yeah. Especially, I don't know how their stuff works anymore. I used to know pretty much, a teenage show would not have any kind of strong kissing because of the age, but then I don't know. I'm rambling. So any other teenage shows, or did you have something more about that?
No, I'm going on to my next drama. Drama would be Gas Electronics. So I wanted to know your opinion, because I saw your post, but I was like, I'm not sure what she's saying. Eccentric, is that what you were getting at?
What did I say? Do you remember?
I cannot remember exactly. Let me see if I can find it, but go ahead.
Yeah, no, it's definitely satiric. Yes. It's definitely funny. In some ways I was not fully prepared. You know how when you're ready for a sweet but you get a savory, or vice versa? I was only watching it because you had talked it up and you were like, this is cracking me up. I'm having belly laughs. I was like, well, damn, okay, let me go check it out. But I was unprepared for how irreverent it was in
Irreverent
places.
is the word you use. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so I was unprepared for that because that clip, I mean, there were scenes before that were like funny, but it was when it got to that clip that I posted about like he's coming out the hospital and he's been pro-Japanese and they ask him a question and he's like, I am a Korean citizen, but he uses a Japanese accent. And I can hear the Japanese accent. I was like, these fools are ridiculous. Like, they don't care what they talk about. So I was like, okay. So I'm continuing to watch. I don't know if I'm going to be as faithful as you are, but it feels like a solid sitcom to watch. And I can agree with what you mentioned before about like the male lead and the female lead eventually getting together. I can totally see that happening. But initially he was getting on my last damn nerve. And, you know, him running after that other chick who had no interest in him whatsoever, speak about being part from the other gender, right? Or one of the other genders. You know, he was like hyper parched. I was like, how you, like, okay, so I understand that it's a trope to make one of the characters stupid and silly because that is where the comedy comes from. But I was like, you didn't notice the chick ain't checking for you, even though you buying all her meals and doing her favors and stuff. Like, it was getting on my nerves. It was getting on my nerves. So I was just so happy when his heart got broken. I mean, in a rare twist, I was just like, break his heart, break his heart, come on and break his heart. Like, I wanted it to be done so that we could just keep on with the, you know, show without this thing hanging over that he's checking for this chick who isn't checking for him. Anyway,
I think it was hilarious for me simply because if I don't know how far you got, but further in they tell you he proposed to her or like he confessed to her 10 times, up to 10, like 9. This was going to be the 10th, and it was like, dude, really? And even as the coworker is trying to tell him, hey, I really, you know, don't think. Oh no, I'm going to do it. I'm going to work hard. And I'm like, oh, the shit was just hilarious because it was that whole obtuseness that just made me go, dude, you just gonna keep on pressing down this road knowing, I mean, like, in your heart of hearts, you know, she don't call you, she don't come, the only time she calls when she wants something, she doesn't come checking for you, and you over here worried about her seeing you with your coworker. Dude, please. It was just funny to me. It was funny.
He was the perfect stooge. And then, you know, it's a good show. Like, if you're looking for belly laughs, now, do you have to pay attention so you don't miss some of the nuance of funny? Yes. Like, don't like focus on other things because you're gonna miss a joke. You're gonna miss something interesting. But the characters,
even the table is freaking hilarious.
Oh my gosh! Every time with him, I don't understand what that cowlick is doing either. It's like y'all didn't even need to add the cowlick because he's ridiculous. But it's like that's just icing on the cake. And then of course I fully expect him to get with chick who is the can-do chick, but kind of got drunk and all that stuff. I fully expect them to get together. Yeah. But he's obtuse too, but in a different way. So it's you know, it'd be interesting after the series ends if we do a podcast about it because
even the manager is Looney Tune, the head manager. Right. Did you see where he fell in love with Power, the Alexa type thing?
No, girl, I haven't gotten to that yet.
Oh hell, that shit's so funny. He falls in love with the Alexa type thing, and it's talking to him, and he thinks he has just made it in heaven till he hears her say the same stuff to everybody.
And that's what I'm saying. It's ridiculous times 10, but it's, you know, it's lovable in its own way. I would liken it to The Office, you know, because there are obvious, you know, parallels. But the one big thing that's different from The Office is it's like there's no camera following. It's not that kind of feel, But other than that, it's very much The Office. It's very much people who are over the top ridiculous. Dude who doesn't have hair, like, I don't know what to do with him. The thin out hair and stuff. I'm like, geez, Louise.
And do you catch the commercials at the end?
I think
so they have like whole commercials that they have created at the end for these products that they playing around with. So the commercial he did with the one for the hair thing, oh my gosh.
Yeah, they're ridiculous.
They are.
And so, I don't know. If you have a chance, if you're looking for something light and funny, then definitely that. What else are you watching?
I am watching Love is for Suckers, and I had done a little video about that because I was really excited about Lee Da-hee and Kim Si-won doing a drama together, and yeah, they're hitting the mark for Choi Si-won. I'm sorry, I said Kim. I apologize. Choi Si-won from Super Junior. He is the male lead, and then Lee Da-hee is the female lead. But I was excited about them doing a drama together anyway because I was like, oh, I want to see what they bring. Well, I'm enjoying this one. It's good. Have you started it? Have you watched it?
Yeah, I watched like at least most of the first episode. Mm-hmm. And here's the thing. I agree with you. When you see those two actors, because she's from first WWW and he's been from everything else, he's hyper popular. Okay, so I'll say this. With him, he's hit or miss for me because he always plays the goofy dude.
Yes, he does.
Plays that.
Yes, he does.
And as handsome as he is, as talented as he is, I want to see him in something else. Like, I want him to not be the goofy dude every time. So I had to and he's not super goofy in this one, but I just had to reconcile, okay, that's what he's bringing to the table. And so I like the way it started. I like their friendship. Clearly she's, in them streets trying to find love and all that good stuff. But I don't know. It's not on my list. It was like, I was just about to put it on my list because I was, as a current watch in my drama list, not a plug. We're not getting paid by these people. We do need to. We'll see what we can do one day. But I don't know. It's not grabbing me like all that. Like, I don't know. They seem equally paired, like balanced as a couple and their friendship. I just don't know if I want to watch them.
I hear you. Because it's not one of the yes for me, but it is a, you know what, I've enjoyed this. I'm loving their interactions and banter and how they work together. So I want to keep watching. I want to keep seeing where they go.
Mm. What else you got?
I'm also watching Blind, which is not on any streaming service before you ask. So
Damn.
Blind has Taekyeon from 2 p.m. and Seokjin and Jung Eunji. The three of them are like this power crime team where they're working to solve murders together. He's a judge. His name is Sung Koon. He's a judge. Sung Joon is the brother. He's a detective, and Eun-ki was a juror in one of the trials that they both kind of converged on. He was the judge for the trial, and Sung Joon was the one who had to come in and testify. He had brought the killer to, justice. Any which way. That's how they all met, but eventually the detective gets accused of murder, and they are on a search. She winds up hiding him. The brother comes to help out, and yeah, it's just been a real interesting, because at first I thought it was going to be thriller, and I'm like, oh shit, I don't know if I want to watch this because I don't do thrillers really well, but it's more mystery and figuring out the whodunit, so I'm enjoying that. That part is keeping me, and they're doing a great job with their roles. They're doing a great job, the three of them.
So where are you watching it, on a sketch site? Where are you watching it? On a sketch site?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, no need to say more.
Right. So I was like,
Right. I should know that. Yeah, no, I saw Blind in passing, and I was like, oh, nice for them. And I kept it moving. I recognize at least one or two of y'all, but I don't care.
Well, I'm 2 p.m. loose over here, so
Right.
Techion was what I had to watch.
Right.
I'll leave you
Tatiana is
to.
fine.
Yes, he
But
is.
I'm like, I don't have it in me to be on a good site doing the most.
Me and my VPN.
Girl, trust
But
that
next,
hustle.
since we're talking 2 p.m., I'm also watching something called My Bubble Tea. Watching that on Viki. That has Nikun in it, and I'm enjoying that as well. Now, this is really, really like bubblegum kind of show where they are very silly. There's not mystery. Geez, what's the word I want? Magic. They're dealing with, the family is supposedly magic and witches and whatnot, and the stuff that they do to bring these people together. But I'm trying to figure out who is she going to wind up with. So it's a serious, serious love triangle, and you can't figure out if she's going to wind up with the CEO of the company or if she's going to wind up with this guy who got caught in their magic. She had the magic removed from him, but she's now trying to see, does he really like her, or was it always the magic all along? So that's, cutesy and just something light to watch. Nothing major, just, it's on my list.
What's interesting about like those kinds of shows, if you're mentally prepared for them, then they're great. They're palate cleansers, especially if you're coming off of some crazy thriller or something else.
Mm-hmm.
They're great. But if you have any kind of expectation or more and then
there
you watch
you go.
that, you feel unsatisfied.
Right.
You got to like really balance that out. Like it's sometimes the show that you add, you just go, I'm going to let you sit for like a month or two and then I'll come and really watch you, because then you can give it the respect it deserves
Right.
versus, because some shows are just not going to be rich. They're not going to be like filling. They're not going to, I even felt that way a little bit about Business Proposal. Like, Business Proposal was fun, but it became an acquired taste for me because it wasn't, initially it wasn't heavy enough for me. I wanted, like, the way you can watch Love in Contract, and that has a little bit more to it going on. Some of these shows really are just supposed to be light and airy and bubble tea. Supposed to be, they're not supposed to be like filling or change your life or make you feel deep thoughts or think deep thoughts. So, I'm glad that you have that as kind of a balance. So what else do you have?
I got my bad prosecutor, not the bad, but bad prosecutor. That is featuring Do Kyung-soo, who is also known as Dio from EXO, the K-pop band, Lee Se-hee and Hajun, and I'm enjoying this as well. It's another whodunit, what's going on in there, trying to catch bad guys. He's a prosecutor, but when I tell you he's horrible, he's freaking horrible. He do all kind of stuff he ain't got no business doing, but there he goes doing it. She's his supervisor, and she gets caught up in his hijinks. The other one is basically a prosecutor as well, but working against them. He's always doing the bid of the bad guys. The true bad prosecutors. So it's an interesting little story.
Well, it's interesting that I did see Bad Prosecutor over the last 2 days. I didn't watch it, but I pulled it up in my drama list because I was looking. Kim Sang-ho, the male actor, the older male actor, is in May It Please the Court, and I was like, this dude is like a solid journeyman actor. Like, he shows up, he delivers, and, whether it's funny, serious, whatever, and he's out the door. Because I low-key have to wonder about his role in May It Please the Court. And so I was like, let me look him up. And I surely did see Bad Prosecutor and then read it, and I was like, this dude's too young for me. Like, I don't want to see, the Axel Foley of South Korea. I don't want to see, how he's like not the Axel Foley because he's not a cop, but I don't want to see, the bad boy being bad again. I'm like, oh, yeah. But it was just interesting because I was like, when you said Bad Prosecutor, I was like, how do I know this? And then I had to look down. I was like, yes, I know. doing all kinds of surfing and research. Anyway, what else are you watching?
I am watching Young Actors Retreat, which has been very fun. You know, I like variety shows. This is a mixture of the cast from Love in the Moonlight, Itaewon Class, and The Sound of Magic. And they're just doing, you know, different little things, different little activities. The director directed all three of those dramas, so he got all of them to come together, and you get to just kind of see how they formulate friendships, because honestly, aside from working together, they didn't know each other. You had some who had crossed because, I worked on this drama with him, so I knew him, or I worked on that drama with her, so I knew her. But it wasn't very many of that and very much of that. And so, you know, they were kind of in their little groups, and then just seeing how they become friends, hanging out, you know, drinking, doing their activities like going zip lining, playing games together. So they did the thing where they fly into the pool. You answer a question wrong and you fly into the pool, or you get water poured on you. So they had done that. Just different little things. And so that has been interesting, and I've been enjoying it.
So do you think while watching it? Oh, okay. Okay. And while watching it, do you think, could you see potential love connections going on, or is it really just like
they're not doing that kind of thing. Like you see friendships forming, like folks talking to each other and hanging out, or, oh, okay, look at this, because I don't think that Park Bo-gum and, how could I forget? Oh, Wong and Yoop, I don't think they knew each other prior to this, or maybe in passing, but like they became buddies, and you kind of saw their friendship happening.
Okay. That's still good. That's still, you know, interesting to see. Oh, okay. When 5 years down the line, you're like, how do they at each other's weddings? Well, it started here.
Right. The other thing I'm watching. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to ask you. I forget the name of the drama, but when I was hanging at Sunray's house, I was like,
that's exactly where I was about to go. Yeah.
Okay. I was going to ask you about like that drama.
So that drama is called His Man. It's a reality show as well. I'm watching that on Kokowa. His Man. Now, Bad Prosecutor is also on Kokowa as well, so you can watch it there. And Cheer Up is on Kokowa as well. But let me see. His Man is the one I'm watching, where it is a South Korean dating show, but it's for gay men. And I'm loving it. Like, I'm loving how they're interacting, the way they're getting to know each other, the things that they're saying and doing, because it's kind of interesting to hear them share their reasons for why they were sparked the interest in someone, or what made them want to try it out, want to try, I'm going to go ask this one for a date, or I'm going to call this one. So I've been enjoying it. It's pretty good so far. I think I have, let me see, I got like 5 more episodes and I'll be done with that. But yeah, that's good so far. I'm liking it.
So, did the guy that they thought was going to be the bad guy, kind of the young one, is there anyone who's kind of being funky in that?
So, okay, no, because he's the youngest, I think that's probably why he acted like he did and why he acts like he does. He, kind of self-centered about himself, wanting to make sure everything flows the way he wanted it to flow. But as he's beginning to get to know these guys and talk to them and trying to, like, get his love interest eye, and seeing that his love interest, yes, is interested in him, but also interested in someone else, he's, kind of having to mellow himself out a little bit and pull it in. He's been the resident makeup person. He's making everybody's faces up in the morning, and, like, they're not putting on, one of them is a drag queen, but they're not doing drag queen makeup, but, like, just your regular foundation makeup stuff that they do. They've been doing, he's the one helping hook everybody up in the morning. There's one who I really, feel for, because he's the second youngest, so he's I think it's Kim Chan-koo. He has not seemed to spark any kind of anything. Like, he liked somebody, he told them about it, and yeah, as far as it's going.
Wow. Yeah, I wonder about how that dynamic would work, the men in the house, and, how people would determine who they, because I only really watched the first episode, and so, if I remember correctly, and so I didn't get, it was all stilted and new, right? And I didn't get a feel for how they would interact with each other, or their personalities, and who would kind of, be interested in who, you like it.
Yeah. Also, the Law Cafe, Kokowa. I'm watching that. I'm on episode 10. Now, I'm going to just be transparent and honest. While I love me some Lee Sung-gi, and I mean I love me some Lee Sung-gi, and I like Lee Se-young. She was in the Red Sleeve. She was the female lead in the Red Sleeve. The drama is just kind of like, I don't know. They're doing too many twists and turns for me. I guess that's where I'm at. Like, we already had one twist, we fix it, then we look up, here's another lawyer, so of course cases are coming. So kind of think in terms of Attorney Wu, where you have these different cases you're working out, but then there's this big overarching case that started from when she was a child that they are trying to, I guess, rectify, that her father was accused of something. And so, I don't know. Something about it is just not clicking for me. Mind you, I'm on episode 10, which means I have given it more than enough room and time, but I'm not sure I'll finish this. I'm trying to stick with it, but I'm not sure I'll finish it.
Well,
now, have you been watching Law Cafe?
I started watching Law Cafe, and I gave up on it way earlier than you did.
Okay.
And it's not because I dislike it. It's because it felt empty to me.
Yeah, something was missing.
And the thing is, I think that there are humorous bits, so it's not the humor. I like the male lead. I don't know. It's something about it. I don't know if it's the female lead. I don't know what it is, but it is very light to me. And it's not even just that it's light to me. It's light like I just don't care. Like, it wasn't even like I was like, oh, I hate this, and I'm walking away. I just forgot about it. I just went, and I did I think you told me to pull a clip, and the clip was funny. I was like, oh, that's a dope clip. And I put it out, and that was as interesting as it was to me. Like, after she helped old boy who seemed to have mental problems, I was good. And I like, it's not like individually the characters aren't interesting. Right. I really like the male lead. I like that he has his cousin and their friends. I like all of that. But there isn't heft, or maybe there's a lack of enough chemistry for me. There's something, or maybe he doesn't have enough swagger for me, because I wonder if the male lead from Hometown Cha-Cha-Cha, if he was in, like if his character was in the Law Cafe and had extra like oomph, if that would, an extra arrogance, if that would make up for it. I don't know.
I think Lee Sung-gi has all of what you're saying. It's this just ain't the mix. This ain't the put together. I don't know.
Right. And I agree with you. Like, even the whole overarching mystery that is, it's almost like I want that to go to the forefront, because I just don't care about them having cases. Like,
I don't either.
So I just, and the gift is that there are so many dramas right now. So I'm not parched. I can cross this off and not feel guilty or wonder, what am I going to watch? Am I going to have to, oh my God, am I going to have to watch American television? No, I'm not there. I'm good. There's something else around the corner. Chinese, Japanese, anything else. I mean, I watch my American shows too, like, no disrespect. I'm joking. But I can let go of Law Cafe with no problem. So,
yeah, I feel like it's on the drop for me as well, but, I was trying to be, me. I tried to give them room, and my try used to be watch to the end, but I can't any further. My final, because the other ones that I'm watching are kind of like, they're sitting there, I'll watch one episode, then I move on, like Master in the House. I've never left Master in the House, so I'm still there. I started what is it, Han no Chihare, the Japanese version of Boys Over Flowers. I'm watching part 2. I've not finished that. I've been sitting on that for a minute. But the next one was HK Coin. So HK Coin is a variety show as well, and again, one of my 2 p.m. guys, so I'm watching 3 dramas for 2 p.m. guys. But this one is, and I honestly 4, because I forgot about the other one that I'm in love with, and I'm about to tell you about that in a second, because it's got some drama going on. But this one is basically they are flipping coins to determine their fate and activities that they do. Like, they flip a coin to see if you go on bungee jump, flip a coin to see if you're going to go out on the street. I know, right? Flip a coin to see if you're going to go out on the street and promote the show. Flip a coin to see if you're going to go out and have to do these different errands in order to get to stay in a 5-star hotel that's so expensive. They asses had me hollering, talking about, I couldn't afford this on my own. I'm like, oh gosh, they done took y'all to the top notch of the top notch if y'all can't afford it, and these are all celebrities. But any which way, it's just been a, cool little watch, seeing them and watching the drama and not drama, but watching the different activities that they're doing and the people they meet along the way. So that's the other variety I'm watching for my 2 p.m. guys. The second one with the same 2 p.m. guy, Woo Young, he is in Street Man Fighter. Street Man Fighter is a dance variety show. So you have 8 different groups. They're all like different dance groups. They do battling. Some of them are known for crumping. Some are known for some dance they call that I do not know the name of it. I said, oh, this is how you know I'm terrible. I don't know names of dances. I just know how to do them. But, right. But they, like have their different dance styles. Some are very K-pop. Some are very B-boy, do the B-boy style. Some do, hip-hop dance. So they have all these different dance styles that they do for each group. Some groups have people who have been doing choreography for major South Korean K-pop groups and have helped do choreography for them. So they have this guy called Vada who's in a group called We Them Boys. And he's like younger compared to the other guys. So his style is very hip and fresh. And so he created this he created a dance for Zico. Just came back from the military not too long ago, and he put out this new song, and they wanted choreography to go with it. So he did this dance, and girl, it became drama. I was like, oh my God, really? Is drama from the freaking variety show? But someone accused him of biting their dance style. A group accused him of biting their dance style, and I mean, like, they have gone all in. He even posted an apology on his Instagram.
That's a lot
about it. So I'm just like, oh, this is it's a good show. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, I mean,
plus I like music and dance, so.
Right. No, so Rae definitely is for the, reality / variety show. Like, I swear you should do like a side thing where you just talk about those. Like, we just do, like, I'll just listen and go, for real? No, because you be all in it. And so, and we can, kind of drag some friends in, and that'd be ideal, because I don't even really watch American reality shows anymore. It's too sordid. It's just too nasty and dirty. So it's nice that, there's an alternative in at least, Korean reality shows, but I'm not in them the way you are. So,
my final, before I shift over to you, is I haven't watched it yet. It came out yesterday under the Queen's umbrella on Netflix. I am starting that today. So episode 1 and 2, 1 was yesterday, 2 came out today. I'm starting it because I was really excited about it and cannot wait to, now that I finished doing all of my prep for the week, got my clothes washed, everything together, I can sit back and watch those 2 before it's time for bed. So.
Okay. So we have your list. And nothing else?
Pause.
Okay.
Yes, pause for the cause. We were supposed to be talking about a question you asked me online. So I watched Love Between Fairy and Devil, and I finished it. That's how come it wasn't on this list. I'm looking at my watch list. I finished it. But that drama, when I tell y'all, it's, it's Chinese. I watched it on I watched it on Netflix, but it is also on Viki as well as IQIYI, IQE. So it's on those, as well as it says here, WeTV, but I don't know what WeTV is, but that's what my drama list has listed.
Not making YouTube. That might be YouTube.
Ah, okay. But any which way, the drama, 36 episodes, but I watched it like a champ because, man, when I tell you, once I got in, oh, gosh, it just takes you. It has all of the stuff I love, like with Alchemy of the Souls. It has the time period pieces. You've got the magic and the mystery happening. You've got the good versus the evil. You've got the espionage going on. Like, it's all kind of stuff, and I loved every minute of it. Plus, the love story was legit. So, yeah.
Yeah, because when you first talked about it, you were frustrated by the female lead. Like, you thought she was, like, slow. And then somewhere in there you did tell me, oh, okay, they flipped the switch, and it makes sense. And so I was like, oh, okay, great. But I'm not necessarily one for historical fantasy flowing outfits dramas. So it takes a lot for me to watch. Like, it took every bit of me to at least initially watch Alchemy of Souls. Like, it took me until episode 5 or 6 before I was like, okay, I'm going to stay. Like, those episodes cemented it for me. But when you talked about the fairy and the henchman or whatever it's called, I was like, what's it called again?
Love the twin fairy and devil. They call it I don't know how to pronounce it. Is it a Kia, but Xianxia. That's the terminology for these types of dramas, the Chinese ones.
Okay. Yeah, I'm like, you can't even get me with that. Okay, so let me say this. Historically, I always knew Chinese dramas to be this way. So it was always interesting when I would see a Korean one that way, because I'd be like, oh, look at the Koreans trying to be Chinese. You know, like that just, and then I went about my business. Because they have the whole thing where they be fighting in trees and floating back and forth.
Flying, yes.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I remember before
I'm
I
telling
dropped all
you.
that shit.
I'm laughing because I even got my aunt who is just like come into the K-drama scene and she's, oh, I've seen everything on Netflix. I'm like, girl, please, let me tell you, have you seen this? Have you seen this? Have you seen this? Have you seen this? Have you seen? No, write them down. So I'm like, yeah, you ain't seen everything, I promise. Netflix shows you only what you watch because you just started. But if you've been watching for some time now, Netflix is going to get you hooked up because there's all kind of stuff out there. But yeah, that one. I'm so glad that I finally, because I had no intention of watching, I'll be honest with you. I had no intention of watching because, you know, I'm not really a Chinese drama watcher, and I told you why. It was because, for me, it was too many of the kind, I'm saying Kia, but I could be real wrong, Ziana, I don't know. Whatever Xianxia says, those types of dramas used to drive me a little batty because sometimes it seemed like they were so over the top and I just couldn't take it. So I really didn't plan on watching this, but I kept hearing people talk about it. So I'm like, let me just see. So I pushed play and then I called something else because I was like, what the fuck is this? This chick is running around
going off,
whiny face and this and I don't know about this. I'm not going to be able to watch this. And then when I saw episode 2 and she had exchanged bodies with old boy and her whole persona was different, I'm like, oh, hell yeah. Wait a minute, I like this.
Right, because when Sung Rae was complaining about it, I was just thinking to myself, why are you watching this? Like, can't you tell it's gonna be crazy? Like, and you gave me the impression she was a dingbat. So when she kind of flipped the switch, I was like, okay, great. You know, because I don't want you wasting your time on like trash drama. Like, you know, I hope that the drama gets better or changes somehow. And sometimes that's really how it is. It's like they lead you in one way, and then they're like, but wait, you know, let's flip flip the switch. You're gonna get something different now. And clearly that's what happened with this one. So congratulations, congratulations on the 32 episodes.
36, girl.
Woo! Woo! You got through it. Congratulations. Okay, so I'm going to give you my list. Hold on just a second. Let me do something here. Because I think I mentioned, you know, speaking of old-fashioned shows, historical old-fashioned. Speaking of historical shows, the only one I had on my list, and I finished, and it was also a long one at 40 episodes was A Dream of Splendor. Right. Listen.
Oh, yeah.
I will watch them. I just don't need them. I don't mind about them floating in the clouds and fighting. I don't care, with these humongous swords. I don't care about all that. I just needed to I need the characters to be the way they need to be. Like maybe a little bit more modern, or that's why I kind of like the Red Sleeve, because it was more modern. I need something there. I can't have her be wishy-washy and him just be all puffed up, and that's why I love The Dream of Splendor. Now, I know some Rae is not in love with this show because she said it looks cheap to her, but for me, it was everything. Yeah, I remember what you said about my show. Yeah. She was like, it's cheap. I was like, but you talk about folks flying around. Like, let me just defend my show for a second. Possibly a soul. Some people didn't get dirty except for the one time when she was about to drink some mud. Like they had the most pristine clothing ever. Like it was so unrealistically perfect on that show. And I was like, how you gonna come for A Dream of Splendor? Yes. Is it like
I said it was low budget. Okay.
Damn,
that was all.
Worse
It
than
was low budget.
God. Somebody watch A Dream of Splendor. Tell me what you think, because damn it, it wasn't. It wasn't. There's no CGI up in that bitch. It was all
You're
seen.
correct.
All
None at all.
All seen. It was good. And the only reason those he was so much is because they were so authentic to the time period. Damn it. Oh snap.
Oh,
To the time period. And so they had to make it look like, you had to step over the seal to get into the next room. Well, that's how it was back in the day. They didn't have it all perfect in every room. That's how they lived. Anyway, so I finished The Dream of Splendor. And it was a good drama.
Tell me about it, because I've only gotten the episode, I think 2 or 3. So I'm coming back for it since I finished Love and Fairy, but I want to know, tell me about it.
Okay. So, I'm horrible with names, so I'm just going to focus on male lead, female lead. So I know the female lead is Panner, which, however they pronounce it, I don't know. But the female lead basically comes from this low caste. Then basically her father was a general at some point, or grandfather or something like that. But they picked the wrong side politically, and they became pariahs. And so she grew up like that, and her only option was to go into entertainment, or to be some kind of musician or something like that to get by. But they very much were maybe a rung up from slavery, pretty much. And so she and one of her best friends made a way in the world. And she, in this small town, owned a tea house. And she was in love with this guy who was a scholar, about to get his degree, which would have led to bigger and better for him, right? Because their scholars were already, even to meet a guy who's a scholar, in a time when people couldn't even read, it was a big deal. So she supported him pretty much. She did that old school fuckboy thing where she had his back, and she was really supportive, and she paid for his books and his classes and all his stuff. Did it all because he promised her he was going to marry her, and they lived happily. And the show starts when she finds out that once he graduated, he abandoned her. It's like the dude who gets a medical degree, and he's like, now that I'm a doctor, deuces, bitch. So he rolls on and goes to one of the main cities in China or whatever, and he's making his way, and she's like, oh, but no, sir, you're not going to play me to the left. My heart may be broken, but not my wallet. You're about to pay me back. So things go one way or the other where she is with her tea house. She happens to meet this guy who is mysterious, who's fine, by the way. He comes into town.
Yes.
He has this girl, yes. And so much so that I'm watching another drama by him. Where is that drama? Oh, it's Simmer Down. I'm watching that too. And so he basically is he helps her out at one point, and he's basically a royal detective, and he's out there trying to solve a case. He's trying to the big case is that the queen there's some proof out in the world that the queen actually was from a lower caste. When she met the king, he reinvented her and gave her a new backstory so that she could be queen, so that she could be by his side. But somebody has a painting of her, and the painter happened to name the people in the painting, and you can see that not only does it look like her, but you can see that she's serving people. So there is proof out there in the world that her ass was from a lower caste, and that is unacceptable. And so that's his big goal, his big search. But there's also little stuff going on all the time, and he's known as like the devil judge almost. And that's not the term, but he's known as a scary guy who does whatever is necessary to fulfill the needs of the court. And so they kind of form a tentative friendship. He helped her out. She helped him out at one point. And also she and her two friends help each other out of bad situations. And, you know, you very much get the impression that, yeah, she's smart. She doesn't get it done perfectly all the time. But they're also they're modern-ish women, right? They are trying to make a way for themselves. They're not like crying somewhere, leaning on some dudes like, you got to save me. They're saving themselves. They're all very accomplished in their own ways. So it's interesting to watch this drama where you see her pick up, once things fall apart in that small town, she picks up and goes to the same city that her ex is in, and she's like, oh, by the way, I'm about to get my check from this dude because he was trying to play me to the left. And the check that she was trying to get from him after everything was said and done was that painting. She had invested in painting, and someone as payment gave her that painting. And when she was trying to help him pay for his stuff, she gave him the painting. So she goes back, and because she now knows old devil judge dude, the detective was like, this is what I'm looking for. As long as you don't have it in your hands, you're good. Because if you have it in your hands, they're going to come for you. So she's trying to help him out. So all this stuff is going on over 40 episodes. It is good stuff. I know you might think it's cheap, but it's not cheap, or it's not broke down, or whatever term you use.
Low budget.
Give it a chance, because I like that they are capable. I love that they are capable women. I love that he is fine and he's a capable guy. He's not stupid. You know, he has his own backstory, because, girl, his backstory is good too. Just that, you know.
No, don't tell me.
It's good. Because,
okay.
you know, you understand why he's happy to be with her. Like, the one thing I love not the one thing, of the many things I love about the show was the series. One was that once he knew he wanted to be with this chick, he wanted to be with that chick. He wasn't like wishy-washy, crazy, or, you know, now, was he obsessive about it? No. Was he patient with her? Definitely. Did he have other things to focus on? Of course. But he wasn't like a stupid dude. So that was one of the things, because I hate that about dramas where one or both of the main characters have to be stupid in the course of them getting together. Things got in the way of them getting together, but it wasn't, you know, it wasn't them like being silly. So if you have a chance to catch Dream of Splendor, please do. All
right, what else?
So yeah, Golf Electronics we talked about. I'm still watching Go Ahead, which is a Chinese drama, and it's so quality, but it also is it's a slice of life drama about this family or two families that kind of form one family. It's kind of like who you choose to make your family versus just blood. And it is so sweet, and it is 46 episodes. So I am taking my time. It came out in 2020, but it's such a solid drama. It's so sweet. It's so heartfelt. It is heartfelt without it being like overdone or stereotypical. And basically what happens is that there is a man who lost his wife, and he is raising his daughter by himself. And then he and he owns this little like noodle bowl shop, right? He's, of modest means, but his daughter is a little bit spoiled, but they're all happy. And then this other guy and his wife and their son move into the same building, like maybe either above or below, I can't remember. And above. And so at first, the couple, the family looks decent, but you come to find out that the family lost the daughter. The mother wasn't paying attention, or something was going on, and the daughter ended up dying. And the mother can never get over it. And so she eventually abandons her husband and her son because she's just like, I can't be with you. And the spoiled daughter of the single father is entranced with the son. The son is bitter and angry. He's been watching his parents fight and dealing with his own guilt and dysfunction. And so he hasn't wanted to befriend this little spoiled girl, but she won't let up. She follows him around. She even when the mother was leaving, he wanted to stop the mother, and the daughter, the spoiled little girl, comes over and she's like, "Can I have him?" And the mother is like, "Yeah, you can take him." And she's like, "You're mine now. You're mine now." And it's like bittersweet. It's cute, but it's sad at the same time. So you have these two fathers who are basically have found a way to raise these two kids, to help each other out, because the husband who got abandoned is a policeman. He's constantly working. And so the young boy starts to hang out with the single father and the daughter. Meanwhile, because the single father is China, and it's back in the day, and they're like, this is like in the 80s or something. And, the neighborhood is like, okay, your wife's been dead, has been gone for like a year. You can't be by yourself. You got to marry somebody else. And he's this quiet, unassuming guy, not a pushover. He's very heartfelt, but very kind. And he basically goes, okay, I'll meet these women. I'm not going to make any promises, but I'll meet these women. So he meets a woman who has a son. And the woman is having a hard time. She's been through a divorce, and she's trying to make do, and she has this young son. And so the young son takes to the spoiled little girl because, he's so heartfelt and nice. And the spoiled little girl is like, I don't want to deal with you. I'm like this other boy over here. She's very much about what she's about. And so all of a sudden, the single father notices that the mother and son aren't coming around. And he hears that the mother abandoned the son with her family, like decided to go to the city. And so he and the little girl went out to see the little boy on the little, in the farm, because they're out in the rural farm country or whatever. And they see that he is basically dirty and not being taken care of. And so he goes to the little boy's family and says, hey, you all know who I am, you know where I am. Let me take him. Let me take him and take care of him. And so what happens is you have 3 kids who get raised by 2 fathers over decades. You see them, and it's easily the first 15 episodes where you just deal with their childhood, and now you see them in their 20s, and you see that they are, and you see the ups and downs, you see the fights that they have. It's very comprehensive. It's like this super epic, slice of life. I'm not doing it justice. Even if you watch just 1 or 2 episodes, if you don't like it, you don't like it. But it's so good, it's just not easy to have to ingest all at one time. So it's the kind of drama where you're going to watch like maybe 3 episodes, then you walk away for a week, and then you come back and watch 2 episodes. You know, like, and it depends. That's how I've been doing it. Maybe you just do it differently, but it's definitely worth a watch. And it's cute and it's funny, so give it a shot.
Okay.
So
now, before I let you go ahead, back it up to your first drama and the one you just mentioned. Where are you watching these?
Oh, okay. My bad. So, A Dream of Splendor is on Viki, and Go Ahead is on. It's saying Netflix and Viki, but I believe Go Ahead is on Viki.
Okay.
That's why I'm watching it. Like when I catch up with it, I just wander over to Viki. And I tend to default at Viki and then realize, unless I know better right away, I defaulted Viki and then end up going to like Netflix or something. And so the next one is Good Job, and that one gives me kind of the same feel as The Law Cafe. It's not the same story, but it's kind of like empty in some ways, but interesting in other ways. I don't know if you checked it out, but it's pretty much about, you know, there's a little fantasy element to it. And let me make sure, because I don't want to, I believe it's on Viki. And so Good Job is pretty much about this guy who's kind of like a master of disguise and a spy type dude. He's very wealthy. He's a Chaebo's son, and he's trying to solve a case. And in the course of solving the case, he runs into this woman who's like the super can-do type chick, like got 500 jobs or whatever. And her special skill is that she can see and hear ridiculously well, like superhuman type ability to do it. Now, the kryptonite for her is that when she does it too hard, she falls out. She gets sick. It's like her body can't handle. She'll do like, if she does it in moderation, she's fine. But if she does it with any kind of real gusto, she'll knock out or whatever. And so she ends up as part of his crew because it's him and his sidekick kind of solving cases and searching around, because the overarching thing for him is that his mother was murdered. They thought it was a car accident, but the diamonds that she was wearing disappeared. And that would be one thing, but then those diamonds reappeared. They're very distinctive diamonds. They reappeared, and they were being sold from person to person. So he finally got his hands on the diamonds, but now he's doing a backtrack to find out who originally sold them, because that's going to tell him who killed his mother. Okay. So there's definitely a mystery going on. It's definitely, you know, it's a good, fun show. It's just that, you know, and the comedic elements are great. You know, the male lead is Jung Il-woo or Woo. Okay. And I've seen him in lots of stuff, you know, including Cinderella and the Four Knights, and he did High Kick. Like, that's the first thing I saw him in. So he's a solid actor. It's not about that. It's just that it's so, it's kind of like when I'm watching it, I'm enjoying it, but it's not something that I'm like, oh, I'm missing it, you know. So I'm not really worried about, I know I'm going to come back to it at some point. I'm just not pressed. And that's why I said it's kind of like, you know, The Law Cafe. It's like, oh, okay, watch it. But I'm sure at some point, hopefully, fingers and toes crossed, at some point I'll finish it. Okay. And so the next one is Sleepeer Hit, which is the
Say it again?
Japanese. It's Sleepeer Hit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Sleepeer Hit. It's the Japanese version of today's webtoons. Right. I don't know if you finished today's webtoons. I finished it. I did enjoy it. And it's worth watching Sleepeer Hit because you can really see the difference in tone. You can see the things that are similar. There's obvious differences. If we ever do a episode on today's webtoon, then I may talk more about what the difference is between that and Sleepeer Hit. But Sleepeer Hit is very Japanese, and I'm enjoying it. It's not, I don't think it's going to have that element, the strong element of romance of today's webtoon, but it is entertaining. And sometimes you may not relate to this, but I enjoy Japanese dramas, so sometimes I need a palate cleanse from like Chinese and Korean dramas, and so it's nice to watch the very distinctiveness of Japanese drama. So that's why I'm enjoying that.
Okay.
The next one I have is Love and Contract, and sometime this week, Rae will put out the clip from the show that she found, and it's a good drama. I mean, I'm sure you can talk to it too, but it is the quintessential drama from that actress, and a typical rom-com drama. There are elements that maybe I don't love, but overall I love that show because, and that show of course is on Viki. Did I say what the Sleepeer Hit is also on Viki? So just to let you know. But I enjoy Love and Contract so far. It is a drama that I try to catch up with every week. I like the lead actress, Park Min Young. She's the classic. I would dare say that she is the rom-com queen of South Korea. And one of the things I love about her, even though I think I've heard maybe from you or someone else or read somewhere, people are like, oh, she does the same kind of role over and over again. I don't mind that because she always plays a smart, beautiful woman who is capable. She doesn't play silly leads. She doesn't play, like she's not like, she doesn't tumble over her own feet. She's always hyper capable. I like that. I want to see that. Like, no one, I don't know about you, but, well, I know about you. Like, we didn't grow up and we didn't, like, live our lives trying to be stupid out in the streets. Like, if we made mistakes, we made mistakes. But we didn't go to work not trying to be professional. We didn't live our lives not trying to be capable. So I don't really relate to female leads that they purposely make stupid or make, incapable of, like, doing anything or just wilted over to the side. Like, I don't like that. So when I see a drama from her, I'm like, oh, okay, at least the female lead ain't going to be silly. Let's see what she's about now, and if you all don't already know, it is about this woman who, due to her traumatic childhood, has sold her services as a wife, as a girlfriend and wife, or primarily a wife. And what she does is, there's at least a high probability that she's going to marry a guy and go through a social life with him in order to help him save face. And then at some point, she divorces this guy. So she marries and divorces over and over again. Now, I don't get the impression, and I'm like 98% sure, she is not sleeping with these dudes. She is only, like, marrying them and acting as their wives and serious, partners to help them get ahead socially. And so, she's now at this point where she wants to quit, where she's paid off everything. She's paid off the woman who raised her because she came from a group home or from an orphanage, and she's trying to turn over and move on to the next phase in her life. But the last guy that she married, she kind of had a crush on. And he seems to have Asperger's syndrome or some kind of social anxiety or something. I don't know how it works, but he clearly has his own history, his own trauma that he's working through. And we learn more about that as time goes on. and he doesn't want to let her go. I mean, but he doesn't know he doesn't want to let her go. He's very, very, very polite, and he's very attentive to her, but he's totally out of touch with his own emotions. So he's not the dude who's like, oh, I really like you, let me push myself forward. If he were that type of dude, he would not have hired her. And you find out, I'm not going to give things away because they purposely made it seem like he was one way until like episode 3 or something like that, and you find out something else about him. But you do realize that he's stilted in his way, and so she's a great balance for him. But before they could kind of like maybe figure out their own shit and get together, there's this other guy, this actor, who's always had a crush on her, and he knew her from when he was younger, and he gets in between them, and you see them try to figure out how to, like, get to the other end. And it is interesting to me. I mean, what do you think, Rae?
I'm gonna agree. I'm intrigued. I'm enjoying, but I'm gonna also say there's a little missing here for me as well. So one of the things that happens and lets me know when a drama is not like truly, excuse me, truly captivating me and holding me is if I could pause, go do like 5 to 10 things and then come back. And this one I've done that several times, so I'm going, something's happening here because it's not captivating me to hold on the entire time through. Mind you, I love Park Min Young, and I mean love. I love Park Min Young. I like I'm gonna mess his name up.
Let me pull his name. Go
Kyung-pyo, and I like Kim Jae-young. I like the 3 main leads a lot. They're, good actors. I like the things I've seen them in. Some of the side characters I like a lot as well. The husband that's gay, I like him. He's a great sidekick to the story and, helps to jump in for all the right places. The mother, she's very cold, and the mother figure, she's very cold and does her part well. Like, they have the elements there, they've got the stuff there, but then for some reason, something's not, like, sticking it for me. So, like, I'm interested to find out what's going to happen. I'm interested to know who she's going to land up with, because I feel like there is an equal play for both of them right now. She seems to like one over the other, but the other one keeps kind of like you said, just getting in the middle and making his way. I don't know if he's going to be the one that they delve towards. I don't know. We'll see. But at any rate, there's something there, though, that just makes me go, I don't know what it is about this drama, but it's missing something for me.
Well, you know what? It's like I would have to think about it more, and maybe I will like use every bit of brain cells I have to sit in a corner at some point and think about it, because I need to understand, and maybe I used to know this, but I can't figure it out right now, the difference between a great rom-com and a good rom-com. Like, you can have all the bits and pieces. Like, for example, the last one she did was Young. Right. She did Forecasting Love and Weather. That was very empty. And I didn't hate it, and it wasn't like there were not all the pieces, but there's a very big difference between Forecasting Love and Weather and Her Private Life. Her Private Life, I really enjoyed. What's Wrong with Secretary Kim, I really enjoyed. So
even though people talk trash about it, I enjoy When the Weather is Fine. Yes, it was slow. Yes, it was, as I've heard, dry. It had all of those, but it was one of those slow burns. It was on purposeful slow. It was on purposeful, but I enjoyed it.
We can agree to disagree. I didn't hate it. Like, it's not like I'm like, oh, go pick rocks. But I did not, I even want to say I can't even remember the ending. And I know I watched the whole thing. Like, some dramas, I mean, maybe there's something for
right, and there you go right there. When there are those things that you have that just don't click for you, you know it is what it is.
Right. I mean, in general, not everyone's going to have the same feel, but like when it comes to Love and Contract, I agree with you. There feels like there's a little bit of emptiness there, and I'll just have to sit and think about what that is, because there's some dramas, there's some rom-coms that grab you, they hold on to you, and they drag you all the way to the end. Like you be cracked out, sitting in the corner, rocking yourself, waiting for the next episode. And it's not because you're just like, okay, I'm not pressed. It's because there's something about maybe the richness of story, the uniqueness of story. Maybe it's the characters. I don't know. Maybe it's the male lead. I'll tell you, with Love and Contract, I'm very happy with Go Q Q, even though I can't say his name. I'm happy with him. I didn't like him. I didn't like the look of him in what is it we just saw? Soul Vibe. I didn't like the look of him in Soul Vibe at all. But when I say he is definitely a cutie patootie, oh, it's so phrase. He's definitely a cutie patootie. And this, I'm happy with him as lead. I think he has a nice bit of quiet swagger about him. Like, when you see him in scenes, I'm like, of course, Ted, go on the belt, because I'm belting for you. Like, do this all right. You know, the actor, he kind of gets on my nerves a little bit because he's spoiled and it just gets on my nerves. But so to me, it's just like the folks who get in between the two male leads. I mean, not two male leads. Different type of story. Yeah, I watched that too. But get between the female and male lead. So it's just a matter of, okay, how do they eventually get together and what kind of secrets are going to come out? Because Love and Contract is very much about secrets. You know, the secrets of her past, the secrets of his past.
I'm going to say you obviously haven't watched the latest episode, correct?
No.
I'm going to need you to watch. I'm going to need you to watch because another secret comes out, and that secret was like, oh, okay. Now, mind you, we knew, but that ain't how old girl put that out there. But go ahead.
Right. I got 7 and 8. Like, when I get off this call with you, that's what I'm going to be doing. So, you know, especially when I was going through my list, I was like, oh, I got to finish catching up with this and this and, you know, a little bit of that. Because, unless you have something, do you have something to add about Love and Contract?
No.
Okay. So I haven't been able to get to my Love and Contract because I've been watching May It Please the Court. I've been binge watching May It Please the Court. I'm on episode 8 of May It Please the Court because it is weird and quirky and, you know, your basic law firm procedural drama with some, you know, melodramatic elements in it. You know, chick is basically like supposed to be the maid's daughter, but you might think that she is the illegitimate granddaughter of a tribal family, right? There is that hint. And she is in this law firm, and it very much, let me just say that it very much gives me elements of Why Her, the drama Why Her.
Okay.
Because she is at the law firm and she does her job too well, and then she gets sent away. She, for all intents and purposes, gets fired, and she ends up as a public defender in this small town. And her kind of like quote-unquote uncle type figure is like, we're not going to outwardly fire you, but we're going to move, you know, go be a public defender for a while, and then we'll bring you back. And it is all of 12 episodes. It is not a long drama. It's kind of like a pocket drama. Like, from the very beginning, people are getting killed, and there is a huge mystery. And there is, like, what could be a love interest with the elder public defender, because in this small town, like, people are just dying left and right. And so it's leading back to her family and leading back to her old law firm and leading back to even one of her earliest cases when she was an intern with her law firm. And so it is interesting to watch. And the thing about this female lead, Jung Ryo Won, I always say her name wrong. I don't get it right. She's a chick from My Lovely Samsoon that Hung Bin had a crush on, who left for America and came back. That's her. If you look her up, let me try it again. Jung Ryo Won. She's well known. She's been in the game for a second. I knew her first from My Lovely Samson. I loved her in Which Star Are You From? If you got a chance to watch that one, back in the day, it was the drama that would make me cry. I cried constantly. She was from this small town, running to the big city, and every time the big city would chew her up and spit her out, and she'd end up back at home, and she'd cry on her mother's shoulder, and then they would like do some, silly, nutty,
Walk of Love.
thing. She was in Walk of Love. She's been in everything.
Oh.
Yeah, I should have said Walk of Love. History of the Salary Man, The King of Dramas, Witch's Court. She's been in a lot. And the interesting thing is, she must have wanted to be a lawyer in another life because she has played a lawyer easily 3 times, including May It Please the Court. So I enjoy when stuff comes out with her. I'm like, let me give it a shot. And so that's why I looked at May It Please the Court, and I dropped a clip. If you want to see that on, any.
She's Australian.
Oh yeah, girl, she speaks English like fluent.
Well, she's Australian.
Yeah.
So, where are you watching this?
Oh, thank you for that. Thank you for bringing me back. I am watching this on Hulu. Okay, so here's the weird thing about this drama. Side note, this is a Disney Plus drama. And they worked some kind of hook in where they're actually putting it on Hulu. And this is not the only
it's not just this one. It's a few of them that Disney has showing up on Hulu. Right. And I'm like, if that's the kind of contorting you got to do to get it to American audiences, this is what you got to do. Does it look weird as well? Okay, yes. But I got Hulu, so let's do it. Yeah, I don't, so, okay.
Well, yeah. Well, we'll figure something out. But so I'm watching it on Hulu, and I don't know where I was, late to the party or something, because I was able to knock out the first 8 episodes. I got 4 more to go. I'm looking forward to them. I enjoyed it. So that's what's taking over this weekend. I was just like binge watching, like in the middle of the night. I fall asleep, wake up, start watching May It Please the Court again. I was enjoying the show. And the male lead is hilarious. The comedic timing is super on point. If you saw the clip that was posted, just stellar, just really great acting all around. So if you can catch it, catch it. And so the male actor in and his name is, how about that, Chen Zhao. Who was in A Dream of Splendor. I liked him so much in that show, and I went to watch him in Simmer Down. And I'm just at the beginning of Simmer Down. It's like enemies to lovers type drama, Chinese drama that you can catch on Viki. And pretty much it's a lawyer versus this TV personality. He's a TV personality who's jaded and disinterested. And she's a lawyer who's very earnest and heartfelt. And they start off as kind of in a combative type situation, and they are slowly but surely going to become friends and then lovers. So I've just started it. It's interesting, but again, you can only focus on so many, for so long. So it's like I caught one episode, and then I'm going to go back in and watch some more. The next one is Taxi Driver. I dropped a clip for Taxi Driver. Did you watch Taxi Driver?
I started Taxi Driver. I didn't finish it.
Okay. Taxi Driver, I don't know if you've ever watched this American show. Did you ever watch Person of Interest?
No.
Okay. Well, Person of Interest was, this, I forget the actors. They're all very good. I think it was a CBS show at the time. It's been like something like 7 years or something, maybe even 10 years, my God. But basically, one of those vigilante type group goes out and solves cases and helps the disenfranchised and folks who can't help themselves. That's what Taxi Driver is. Like, dude is a badass, and he goes out with, he's the taxi driver and the crew of hackers and you know, like a whole team, and their goal is to like help the disenfranchised and the, you know, and folks who've been taken advantage of. So there may be some overarching stuff going on with the show, but I don't know it yet because I think I'm like 3 shows in at this point. And so, yeah. And
you're on episode 3.
Yeah, something like that. And it's E.J. Hoon, and he is always fine. So it's not like it's a hardship for me to look at his ass. And the show is from 2021, and in there, I guess it's so popular that they're going to have a season 2 in 2023. So there's going to be a Taxi Driver 2. So I was like, let me go catch up.
Because a lot of people really enjoy Taxi Driver. So I got to probably episode 10, somewhere in there. And for me, I really did enjoy the storyline, but it was just gory. Like, there was a lot of killing. And that was...
No, it's very dark.
Yeah.
It's very dark. It gives me kind of noir type feeling about it. I'm trying to remember. Hold on, let me look up something super quick. You all put up with me. Hold on. It's like I'm doing that thing where you gotta travel from one person to another to remember the name of something. It's not Kevin Costner. Okay, that's what I'm gonna use. Ryan Gosling. Listen, you all don't know this, but the hustle is real when you have to. Okay, Blade Runner. Woo, my brain. So it gives me Blade Runner, not in that it has a sci-fi element, but because it is very noir, it's very dark. It's not right. What do you think?
No, I mean, from what I saw, again, the concept, because, like you said, the vigilante and how they were working, I loved it. And, again, E.J. Hoon, yeah, why not? So I definitely was okay with all of that. I liked his little crew. I liked how they had their stuff set up because they were very on it. They were seamless in helping people get their justice for situations that were happening. I just, again, there was too dark. It was too dark for me.
Right. And so I knew him first from the series Signal, and I really enjoyed him in Signal. I'm mad that right before, I think, the pandemic or somewhere early in, 2020 or something like that, they talked about doing a season 2 for Signal, which is like it's like the movie Frequency. Like, they're reaching back to the cops working together, talking on a little walkie-talkie to someone in the past.
Like that. So there's a few that kind of hit this mark because there's the one I think it was called Train or something. So there's a few of those.
Right, and he was in the one Signal, and so that's when I saw him, and I was like, okay, he's arrogant, but, handsome, and it's cool to watch him in that. So that, Tomorrow with You, and I saw Move to Heaven, or I saw Busy Move to Heaven. The Move to Heaven was not, I don't know, it was just okay to me. So I didn't, it
love
wasn't
Move to Heaven, just FYI, but go ahead.
Right. Different shows for different folks. So it's like I saw it to see him there, but I didn't see it for it to stick in my mind for him. And then there's $1 Lawyer, which I desperately want to see, but is it going to be on Disney or something? I can't remember.
It already is. $1 Lawyer is airing currently.
But it's like on Disney or something?
Yes, it's a Disney drama.
Yeah, that's why it's like invisible to me. It's like, you know. So, so I want to see it. It's like, I look at it and I go, I want to see you, but where can I see you? Oh, Disney. Damn it. So whenever Disney wants to put that on Hulu, I'll be right there with my popcorn ready to go. Okay? But until then,
at present, I just say middle finger to Disney, okay?
Okay, yeah, we try to do our business. We try to do our business right now. Right? Until you do right by me, everything
right,
is
exactly.
So after Taxi Driver, I only got two more. So there's Three Bow Siblings, which I dropped a clip for Three Bow Siblings because it is hilarious. Sometimes frustrating, but by and large, it is hilarious. The overarching story is a romance between this woman who's like in her late 30s who had this romance with this guy who's an actor, and he basically threw her to the side for his career because, you know, he couldn't look like he was in a relationship, and she was being bullied because, you know, women can't let other women win. It's so rude. And so years later, they're dealing with each other again. He's trying to win her heart, and she is not pressed about him. And she is one of three siblings who are just in a family, you know, it's a family drama, trying to get by. And I think the scene that I dropped was basically she went to a dinner because her younger sister was going to get married, and the grandmother, who is partial to the younger sister and not at all to her because of how their family was smushed together, she's like, why don't you give the condo that you are like full on mortgage, not even apartment, your home, why don't you give it to your sister and your sister's fiance, and why don't you move home? And she's like, what? So she walks out the room like hurt, you know, like why they keep on treating me like a stepchild. She goes back in. You fully expect her to like do the old school traditional South Korean female lead thing where she like falls on her sword, gives up the apartment, and this time she was like, but no, why don't you get the hell out of my house? How about that? You've been living with me. How about you get the hell on? How about y'all all get the hell on? That's when I realized I was going to like this drama.
I'm going to have to check it out. All righty then.
Yes, it is trope heavy, and the tropes are turned on its ear. So, like, for example, the very last clip I dropped, if you all want to go to Twitter and everywhere else, was that she was talking to her friend, and she was telling her friend, hey, you know, old dude who used to like me back in the day, you know, the actor, his mama just called me because they lived in the same neighborhood. Like, they grew up together, too. It wasn't like he was just this guy who's an actor. It was like they kind of grew up together as kids. And she was like, the mama just called me talking about, can we meet? And her friend was like, you know what's up, right? And she was like, what? She's like, you know she's going to throw some water on you, right? Like in the summer. She's going to throw some water on you, and she's going to offer you some money to leave his ass alone. And so then you see her, like, imagine the scenario of that going down. And that's what I posted. So y'all check that out, because that is hilarious. And
okay, Three Bold Sisters, where are we watching this?
Okay, Vicky. This one is definitely a Vicky.
Cocoa. Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Cocoa and Vicky. I'm sorry. You know, sometimes it's a fine line, because every once in a while, I'll be thinking, oh, it's on Cocoa, and it's like, no, it's really just on Vicky. But this one is Vicky and Cocoa. So if you can catch that, dope. And the very last one is Women in Taipei. Now I picked this up on the fly because if I'm going to watch a Chinese drama, more often than not, it has to be very modern. The exception, of course, is what I mentioned earlier, Go Ahead. But this one is weird and interesting because it's a woman who moves to, and mind you, this is a weird kind of, Women of Taipei is like one of a series of women in whatever, like women in Taiwan, women in, you know, South Korea, women in, it's kind of like part of this larger theme or whatever. And actually I'm reading now, it says adapted from the column Tokyo Women's Campaign, serialized in 2015. So, like, there is a Women in Tokyo. And this one, Women in Taipei, is closely related to, I'd have to pull it up again. I'm sorry, you guys, because it's similar to one of the other ones in that this woman moves to town, and you see her dealing with being in this new city. You see her dealing with romance. You see her getting dumped. You see her picking up another boyfriend, living with that boyfriend, dumping that boyfriend. Like, you really get that whole slice of life. You know, this woman in particular, like, gets to Taipei, and she has one boyfriend. He dumps her. She's living with her aunt. Then she gets home. The aunt is like, you got to go. Then she ends up in this tiny little shack of a space, and she ends up working in customer service, even though she has a degree, and then she hustles it, ends up in marketing, but the hustle in marketing is her too. So you just really are following this woman. It's all of 11 episodes. So it is interesting. If you can catch it, do. I am going to watch it. It's just not going to be like tier 1. It's going to be tier 2 because it feels really real, y'all. Like, she's going through some stuff, and I'm just like, okay, I don't want to be reminded of, you know, my 20s on the hustle and being scared. We're gonna be homeless. Like, I don't want to think about all that. So you can now, the way they're making this thing seem, they're mentioning this show like it's on Disney, but I saw it on Hulu. So it may be another one of those Disney Hulu shows, if you want to catch it. And it's called Women in Taipei.
Okay.
Woo! That was a lot.
I know, right?
That was a lot. We've been watching a lot. I thought we would have more overlap, frankly. I was counting on it.
Yeah, no. You and I do have very distinct
hour and 38 minutes in.
Right.
Yeah, that's why I'm not editing the heck out of this. This is going right. It's going directly out there to you guys. I can't do it. I lose my mind. I start slitting my wrists and stuff. See, that's what I maybe should edit out, but I'm not going to do that either because this ain't for kids. It's all exclusive. Anyway, so right. Is there anything you want to add? Any show you forgot? Anything you're looking forward to coming up that you're super hyped about?
I am looking forward to The Fabulous coming out in November, I think the 8th, but not 100% sure. I'm looking forward to that. Choi Min-ho, yes. Woo-hoo-hoo. From, dang it, what group is he? Oh, Shiny, I guess is how you pronounce it. Yeah, but that K-pop group. He's a member of that, but he's also like an actor who I fell in love with before I knew he was a K-pop member.
Okay, and I'm looking
and
at
Choi
it now.
Din, I believe, is the female lead, and yeah, the two of them together, that sounds like fun.
I see that it's on Netflix. What about it is, other than that they are the leads, is it something about the story? Did you see a
Yeah,
trailer?
I have no clue, but you know good and well I am not that person.
You didn't even watch
I don't even know why you asking.
Oh my gosh. So do you know what it's about?
Did you not just hear me say, you know I am not that person. I don't go digging for all of that information. The trailer that I saw just looks fun. The two of them I like as actors and actors, you know, I like their acting, and I'm excited to see them in the drama. So yeah, there it is. I'm looking forward to it.
See, at least you had a trailer. That's what I was trying to get to. I was trying to get like what at all.
The trailer doesn't give you anything. Like, literally. I didn't get anything from it. If someone else did, please share with me. But I didn't get anything from it. But again, I did not look it up. I did not go looking to see what the premise was or what the storyline was. No, I didn't do any of that.
Wow. Well, it's on Netflix, so
yes.
We'll both check it out. I at least am going to read the synopsis on my drama list and decide if I want to watch that or not. I always kind of give like an extra 5% if it's on Netflix because I assume the quality is going to be decent, you know. It doesn't guarantee I'm going to watch it, but I give it a little bit extra, a little bit. So I think we have done quite a rundown.
Yes, I feel the same.
And next time we do a rundown, it'll be a month or two later, because some of this it won't be a repeat. We don't need to repeat what we're watching if we've already mentioned it. But we will also put up our video, like the one we did recently, where we just showed you from my drama list what we were watching. And we encourage you to not just look at it, but make suggestions. If you're missing something that you're like, oh, I am watching this show, it's not on your list, one of y'all needs to check it out, please, please, please tell us, because you see some of this stuff is like on the list because we're halfway interested, but if there's something that's better, then, give us your suggestions. Don't just take our suggestions, give yours. Is there anything else on Rae before we hang up?
No, I'm good. I think we've run the gamut.
Okay. Well, this is Black Girl Soul. I am Something Else with
Song Rae. Bye. Mm-mm.